Welcome to another episode of The Scoop. We have a wonderful guest today, and her name is.
Marla Travis.
Hello, Miss Travis. And we have interviewing Miss Travis today,
Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown. How you guys doing today?
Great, thank
Great.
you.
Great. Pleasure to have you both. And without further ado, Mr. Brown, you can take it away.
First of all, we wanted to put you on here to thank you because a lot of times we have a lot of different ideas that we know would be a good idea and that would be very educational to our kids, but that's not always fostered. But we've talked about it previously, just in passing, that we definitely get that from you here. That is a treasure, not just to the adults, but we try to let the kids realize that too. So, of course, we couldn't do this without you, and thought that you should be the very first one to actually be on here. So we thank you. Um, what actually made you get into education?
That's a big question, right? Loaded question. So, in my mind, I always wanted to be a teacher, principal. My mother was a teacher. She was a principal. She was a trailblazer with the school district of Philadelphia. And, just going to school with her, going to her high schools, and then later she became a principal. I realized that that's what I wanted to do in life because I don't really like for people to tell me what to do. I didn't tell people to do. So that was just like the only way to do it. So that's why I became principal because I am very much interested in our children's learning. Um, I can't imagine doing anything else but supporting our youth, in their um, their high school careers and then their post secondary educational careers. And for me to um, try to get together a team that would support our children to me is like my most fervent goal. I want our children to be successful, and again, I just can't think of anything else that I would be doing with my life besides being an actress. That's not
Right,
gonna
being on stage.
work, so
Well,
I
it
guess
could
I gotta
have.
stay here. So
It could have, but we're glad that didn't work out. We all benefited from it. Um, so you think that so a lot of times people in education, like I've heard them say, like, well, to be in education is actually a calling.
Mhm.
It's not a job.
Mhm.
It's not something that you just
And I
um
believe it's a ministry. I know a lot of people get into education as default, but I really, um, and this is like really my this is my ministry, and that is to help our youth to grow. And I want to see growth every day from all of our students, and it's my passion.
what do you think some of the current difficulties might be in helping them do that?
There are a myriad of things. Um, Firstly, some of our students are parentized. And when I say that, I mean they have a role in the home, um, certain expectations that the parents have of them. Some of them include taking their siblings to school, includes picking them up from school, which means they have to leave early, they're coming in late. Um, and social media. Social media is a big thing, and we didn't have social media growing up. We went to school, came home, did our homework, watched the news, went to bed, and but um, social media has caused a, an extreme rift in our society, especially amongst our youth. And we've seen uh, fights that occur because of things that happen on social media, um, untruths, things, stories that are being told, not just here in school or in Philadelphia, but around the world, because things that appear on social media. And that has had a large impact on education since I've been an educator.
So you started out talking about parenting, right? And social media definitely ties into that. Do you think from the difference in parenting these days as opposed to before, that social media is where the students get a chance to feel a sense of belonging or get the attention that, for whatever reasons, they're not necessarily getting from home? Do you think that has anything at all to do with that?
I don't know.
It's a sense
I'm
of
not sure.
community.
Yeah. Um, Certainly when we were growing up, there was a set of expectations that our parents had for us and our grandparents had for us, right?
Absolutely.
But with our students now, their parents basically are coming from the same generation. They have the same outlook,
Right.
um, in terms of the school rules,
Right.
getting to school on time, doing their best work. And it's not everybody, it's just some. And I'm not trying to disparage anyone,
Right.
but
Absolutely.
it is what it is.
It
We're
is.
trying to prepare our students for the world of work.
Yes.
And in order to do that, then it is expected that they get to school on time, they do their work, their schoolwork, they do it with fidelity.
Right.
They have a certain decorum that
Uh-huh.
they're going to display while they're in school. And sometimes when we try to explain this to some of our parents, they don't understand, and they are of the mindset of the children, you know. And you can't fight City Hall,
True.
you can't fight City Hall. So we just kind of let them know, we lay out our expectations. This is what we expect. If you do A, B, and C, then you will graduate. That's it.
Which actually leads me to my other question, which you touched on a little bit. What can, not just parents, but what can adults do to actually help change the narrative back to those expectations that we had as far as education and what it really means and the opportunities that it will actually give you? Um, I know a lot of times, I've heard some adults say, well, the kids don't listen,
Mhm.
so
And
they'll
that's one of the
stop
first thing I
talking.
said is that we need to listen. We need to listen to our children, right? And I say all the time, I truly believe I'm a true advocate of student voice. I'll listen, I'll try to understand. We can have like a nice conversation, but again, I have to be an example. We have to be an example. Young teachers like you are young black male role models like you, or what our students need to see, and again, we just need to give examples. We need to demonstrate and model in our behavior, because if they see us doing some of the things that we're asking them not to do, then what's the point? Why should they listen to us? We need to create a pathway in which they, can see that if you do A, B, and C, not only will you graduate, you'll be able to get into a good college, you'll be able to get a great job, you'll be able to buy the cars you want, live where you want,
Right.
and the world, is
Is wide open.
wide open to just anything you want to do, you know.
True. Did you so I know this is only my second year here, but this role or this calling seems to come easy to you. Um did you have any difficulties in school, or
So
was
again,
that easy?
like in my mind, I've been a principal since I was 6, right? Because my mother became a principal when I was 6 years old. So
Okay.
um, I didn't have any difficulty. I went to girls' high school, right? And I had a great experience. Did I like high school when I was there? Probably not,
Right.
because there were some rules and some, high expectations that the teachers had for us. Um, I went on to Temple University, and then I went to Gwinnett Mercy and St. Joseph's University, and I never really had problems, because again, there was a certain uh, there was a set of expectations that my parents had for me, that my teachers had for me, that my church had for me, that the community had for me, and I just I always thought about, even though my parents are dead now,
Hmm.
I still want to make them proud.
Absolutely.
And as a child and as an adolescent, as a young adult, and as an adult, it was my most fervent wish and desire to, make my parents proud of me. And I hope that they
I'm sure they are.
are. Mhm.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Um, I think that kids need to know, like they know, oh, that's Principal Travis. They know you're going to go to bat for them for most things, right, within reason. I don't think they really know the type of work that it might have taken, and that came over a time frame. I think we live in a generation now where everything is immediate based on this computer generation and social media, and everything's right now, live. But how do we get them to understand that, you know, trust us, and that this takes time? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to try and take advantage of your resources. How do we do that? I mean, we have more programs than most, which gives them several different options, and you almost have to kick them out, um,
Every night, right?
at night, right? Because they want to stay. But how do we get that to transfer over into the skills that we're all trying to give them as adults when we're on stage all day as
So I
teachers?
think that we should continue to give our students as many choices as possible. I think that, and you know this because you've been on the trips that we've taken them to New York and to Washington, D.C. I think that they need to see it and hear it from other people than ourselves, other people that are in their households. I think that we need to continue to introduce them to various pathways to life, and this is what you want to do. You want to go into mortuary science? Well, here we've got a mortuary science program. You see, we have a live mortician who works here. You'll see that this is what he'll, talk to the children about what they need to do to get into that type of program,
Right.
how long it takes, what it looks like. But not only that, but just, in terms of, health related careers, there's so much that these children can do. And, you said something about, it takes time, but with a lot of the careers now, some of the programming is cut in half. You could go to school and be a nurse in like almost 18 months,
Right.
and they pay very good money,
They do.
You could get an RN and then go back and get to become a BSN.
Hmm.
Many things, in terms of technology, there are a lot of positions that are available that don't, especially with AI, that you don't even need a college degree, but you do need to do well in high school,
Right.
and be serious and focused, and mature. A lot of times, I tell people college, I didn't really learn anything in college. I just tell you, I just breezed through. I had a great high school education. My methodology courses in education is basically all I really paid attention to.
Hmm.
But I graduated from Temple, I had like a 3.89, never even studied,
Wow.
But that's because my high school prepared me,
Yes.
But what I got from college was maturation, social skills,
Networking.
networking, learning how to speak, and learning how to get along with other people,
Hmm.
and
Different management styles and
absolutely.
all of those
Yeah.
things. So partnerships, how does that play a role in it? So we talked about parents, we talked about the teachers here, but what about outside partnerships? How's that? How's that play a major role in what it is they get exposed to, and what we do here at West?
Well, a lot of I'm all for partnerships. A lot of principals are not, but I am. I think that partnerships, first of all, they bring, you know, financial assistance.
Resources.
And, with working public education, our resources are limited. So I thank our corporate partners. Um, again, they provide our students with experiences that the school district probably would not we would not be able to afford, to extend to our children,
Right.
such as the Netter Center.
Yes.
Netter Center is fabulous, and for all who don't know, Netter Center is a part of the University of Penn. They help us and they support our after-school program, and financially, they are the resource that pays those after-school teachers. And I love for the kids. I love to get here at 6 in the morning. The kids are here. I love to leave in the afternoon at 6 p.m. and they're still here, and that is because Penn has given us the resources to be able to provide extracurricular activities for our students.
Give them even more options than you
More
give them
options,
throughout the day.
and it's not just when we say extracurricular activities. It's not just like baseball, basketball, cooking. We have mental health supports too, and our students. I appreciate the fact that they're not afraid to ask, for support when they need to speak to someone. I always say that every student should have a go-to person in this
Absolutely.
building. It doesn't matter if they're a teacher. It could be the principal, an assistant principal. It could be the janitor. It could be the building engineer, food service worker. It doesn't matter. It is important that every student have a go-to person
I
in this
agree.
building.
That's crucial.
And they are two partners, everybody in this building, is a partner, to what we're trying to do here at West, where every student thrives.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Who had the biggest impact on you in life? So I know you talked about your parents, as far as the foundation and how the standards that they set for you, but who would you say and why?
I have to say my mother. And I'm asked that question a lot. And between my mother, my dad, but my mother and her father, right? They were my um, greatest cheerleaders, right? I was twin brother, and we could do no wrong, and everything that we did wrong was an exploration. My grandfather's words were always, just let them explore while we're burning down the house. Now they know how to light a match, now they had to set a fire. There's always something good in whatever we did. So I had a fabulous village, growing up. Most of my parents' friends were educators and professionals, and again, and they were, for the most part, first generation, college graduates. So education and getting ahead and making something of yourself. Absolutely. Being a good person, being a contributing citizen, voting, all those things were conversations we had at the dinner table. Um, and
It shows. It does. It shows. It shows in your leadership style. Um, I don't think certain styles you can't actually teach. It has to be who that leader is at heart, and and what it is they genuinely care about. Which a lot of times, like in your case, that's not you first. Um, but I knew you were gonna say your mom. If, but hey, that's a blessing to be able to say. It really is.
I'm glad, and I know some of our students don't have great relationship with their relationships with their parents, and particularly with their mothers, and that just saddens me. Which is why I always try to step in and be everybody's mother, and and when I can, right, when I can experience that, and when I feel like I'm making a difference in the lives of our children, that's all I'm here for. I'm not here for the paycheck. I'm not here for the notoriety. I don't wear prints on my sleeve. I'm just here for the kids, and I just want the kids to have their best high school experience that they can have. You know, I think about when I was in high school, and again, like the world was our oyster.
Right.
And I want our children to experience the same thing that the children at Lower Marion experience, um, all these other suburban high schools. You
'Cause they
know, and
said
when I talk to principals, and I just talked to someone just a few minutes ago about it wasn't you, it was someone else. They were talking about their high school experience in the suburbs.
Mhm.
And it was Dr. Beauchamp, who used to work here.
Okay.
And she was telling me about how uh, she was taking her students out to the market, and she's an autistic support teacher. But basically, bottom line was, you know, where's the money come from? Where's the budget come from? She works at Cheltenham High School, and you know, she says that the school pays for it. So that's why I'm always out trying to find money, find different programs, because I want exactly what these suburban schools have. I want our children to experience the same types of things.
Which is how it should be.
Hmm.
Which is how it should be.
Yeah.
What do you have anything on a bucket list that you haven't actually accomplished? So
Yes.
you've had so many. You do?
So silly. Hmm. Um, m- what I really want to do is I want to visit every state in the US, the continent, right? North America. I want to go to every single state.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. That's my bucket list.
How many have you been to? Roughly.
Maybe 25, maybe half of them,
Okay.
including Hawaii. So I got to get to Alaska. I've not been much to the Midwest. I want to travel down Route 66 and do all that. That's going to take probably about, well, what I really want to do is summertime.
Mm-hmm.
I want to like just drive to California
Really?
and then fly back, and then so go the northern mid states, and then fly back, and then next year do the southern states.
But it has to be in the summer. You can't go anywhere yet.
Okay.
Wait a few years. We need to make sure that the scoop and the other
I'm
let's
gonna make
see,
sure we're
20
gonna be straight. We're gonna be straight before I take off. Because when I take off, I ain't coming back. So
That's understandable.
you all can see me on FaceTime, you know, but that's gonna be about
Just wait a little bit.
it.
Don't go anywhere yet.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
No, I just
We know how busy
again, I
you
love
are.
my children at West Philadelphia High School. My office, my door is always open, and that's for the students, teachers, anybody. And listen, my job is to make an impact, right? And if you or you can assist me, then you know my ears are open. You know, I'm always open. You know, just how we can, if we need to change things, what do we need to change? How do we change it? You know, and you know, again, it's about
It's about the kids.
it's about the children, and like I said, here at West, every student thrives.
Well, we love you and we appreciate
Thank
you.
you. I love you too.
Love you,
And,
Miss Travis.
We hope that you stay around.
For at least one more year, right? Okay, two, maybe two.
Do too.
Okay.
That's perfect.
2 more years.
2 more. That's perfect.
I just want to thank you too as well for a lot of things. You do a lot for me. You know, I'm not going to put everything on camera, but you just allowing us, me and Mr. Brown, to do this podcast. I think that this will be something big for the kids going further. Once they see, you know, of course, you starting it off, and you know, you setting, you know, the baseline for what it could be. I just thank you for it.
Absolutely.
And this was another episode of West Philly's The Scoop.